Ain't nothing peculiar about the way that I was raised, and my arm is on the
church because they just don't agree with one thing the authority figure did. I was thinking the other day, I wonder how many of you in here would be able to submit with a good attitude to a spiritual leader who committed murder. Do you know how many people have left church after church after church after church because they just don't agree with one thing the authority figure did? I was thinking the other day, I wonder how many of you in here would be able to submit with a good attitude
to a spiritual leader who committed murder.
Personally called me and said, hey, Mica bought a gun. She's out in the backyard. Well, you think she bought it to shoot me? I don't know, JP. I don't know what's going on in the house that would be a reason. So, you know, this isn't the first time he's tried or that there's been suicide brought up. I get it, and then he was scared. Was wondering, do you think she bought it to shoot me? Well, you know, why would that be a question if you wasn't mistreating her?
Stop. I don't have your purse. Stop.
You don't have my purse?
Nope. Stop, Mica. Please. Stop, Mica. Stop.
Give me
Stop. I don't have your purse. Mica, stop. Stop. Calm down, Mica. Stop.
Give me my purse.
Stop. I don't have your purse. Stop.
You don't have my purse?
Put in my tire at the Spring-Made Pier, and I wanted to make a police report.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
I was parked at the parking garage right there at the Spring-Made Pier, walked on the beach. It was around 1:30-ish, like a.m., that I got back to my car. And when I got back and I pulled away, I heard the pop in my tire, so I immediately got out, and I took a picture. It's a giant razor sticking out the side of my wheel, and this same razor was put in my tire the day that I had to appear at probate court on March 5th in the parking lot of the county clerk. They saw the videos. They said nobody came near my car, but I have pictures of both razors, and they're identical.
So when they watched the
someone's
videos,
obviously following me.
when they watched the videos, they never saw anyone going near your car?
Correct, which means that someone was trying to get me to not be able to go to court, and they wanted me to have a flat tire. It was a psych evaluation from my ex-husband. It was a mandated psych evaluation, which I got dismissed after that day. They cleared me, dismissed, and dropped the case. But there was still a razor in my tire that day at court. And then just now, less than a week later, there's another razor in my tire, and he's accusing me of having an affair and all this crazy stuff.
HCPD officers responded to a call of a female locked in the bathroom of the Waccamaw Mental Health Facility in Myrtle Beach. Officers arrived on the scene to find Mica Miller sitting in the passenger seat of a Ram truck in the parking lot with John Paul Miller, who was trying to take her from the scene, according to the report. John Paul was interrupting Mica and would not allow her to speak to officers, the report alleged. The names are redacted from the reports. However, our FOIA request was for records pertaining to John Paul Miller, and he is the only male referenced in this report. The report makes it clear that the female seeking mental health treatment was his wife, Mica Miller. Horry County Police Department. Workers at Waccamaw told police Mica was extremely weak and passed out twice while in the building. They were concerned she was under the influence. An unnamed female told police she and Mica went to the facility to get mental health help for Mica. John Paul pulled up and reportedly would not allow Mica to get the help she needed, per the report. The woman told police John Paul had been mentally abusing Mica for an extended period of time by not allowing her to sleep, eat, or contact her family. This was not the first time Mica tried to get help, she further explained. Weeks prior, Mica went to Cherokee County in an attempt to leave John Paul and get mental health treatment. While she was away, John Paul allegedly had a mental breakdown and stated he was suicidal, resulting in Myrtle Beach Police Department conducting welfare checks on him. Horry County Police Department. When officers were eventually able to separate John Paul from Mica so they could speak to Mica alone, they determined she required hospitalization for a psychiatric evaluation. This upset John Paul, who according to the report was unhappy about being separated from his wife. John Paul was upset about this but was told due to the circumstances of the situation he was being kept away from Mica Miller, the report noted. According to the report, John Paul Miller twice called someone identified as Lieutenant Wilson and told the responding officers, "You will be getting a call."
Hey, baby. Hey, babe. Every day you talk about how much you want to atar your medicine, come off of your Kayam, or change the doses, without approval from your doctor or a psychiatrist. This is much more of a surless conversation than what you think it is. To be very honest, and actually engage me at how selfish and ungodly the desire for you to come all of your medication actually is. Earlier today, I finally gave in, and I am willing to let you do whatever you want to in this area, just like I did with the dog that I agreed for you to get, even though I am the one who has to take care of him. But as your husband, and as the one who suffered just as much as you through all this, I believe I have a right to share my heart. I hope to appeal to your integrity, your intelligence, and to your relationship with Jesus and His Word. Pros and cons of being on medication. 1. When you are off your medication or not on your medication, it costs us a lot of emotional hardship and pain. When you are off your medication or not on your medication, we suffered a lot financially. When you were off your medication or not on your medication, you were unaware of what reality was and what was really going. Regardless of what you thought. In other words, you were deceived. 4. When you are off your medication, you are unable to function in the workplace. When you're off your medication, you are unable to determine what is normal and what is abnormal when off your medication. You can't function in the area of your calling when off your medication. When off your medication, you think that you are learning other languages and musical instruments when in. Really, you were wasting time on things that didn't line up with your real Ife. When off your medication, you are totally fine with being in a mental facility. 10. When off your medication, you draw things and talk about things that nobody understands and that are pointless to your destiny, and you communicated those things in ways that were unhealthy. 1. When you are on your medication, you gain weight. This can be controlled by being more disciplined in the area of what you eat, rather than focusing on how much you eat. 2. When you are on your medication, you feel lethargic. This can also be helped by what you eat. But I may be a side effect of the medication. And we may have to deal with this like Jacob did with his limp. God blessed Jacob tremendously, but he had to fight with a limp. Paul the Apostle had amazing influence and anointing, but he had a thorn in his flesh. Moses was called to lead millions, but he had a stutter that God didn't heal. David had prestigo, power, wealth, but he battled depression. Noah was caved to save humanity, but he had no friends. Sometimes God allows us to have a limp. A imp is something that reins us how much we need to rely on Jesus. A limp doesn't prevent us from living a blessed Ife, but does keep us humble and reminds us of our weakness throughout daily time with Jesus. We all have a limp. It may not be the same as yours, but we all have one. It seems to be very silly to want to come off of your medicine when examining the points above. Sacrificing your passions, job, relationships, influence with non-believers, co-workers, snances, and our time and energy to got you back on medicine ... Because you don't like feeling lethargic and because you don't want to exercise self-control and discipline over what you eat throughout the day. So basically you are so deceived that you are willing to bypass what every person in your life says is best and do what you want to do because you don't like the way you feel. Wouldn't the best thing we can do would be to ... 1. Spend more time in prayer every day asking for Jesus to help. 2. 1. Stay on your medication be altered by your doctor. 3. Eat healthy snacks all through the day when you feel the munchies. Carrots, water, vegetable tray, oatmeal, etc. The very definition of being deceived is when every authority, loved one, and spiritual overseer tells us one, and we totally believe another. This is how atheists go to hell. At the end of my email, I have added 2 things. First, scriptures and biblical points that prove a humble person will receive the instruction of much wiser 4 doctors. Nurses, father, hust boss, co-workers, church family, friends, all want you to stay medicated. Not to hurt you, but to help you, and because they believe it is best for you. Second, the email I received from asterisk on the day that you had to be taken to the altar. You have read this email and is entirely you still want to change your medication or stop taking it. I will love you the entree. I'm willing to go through the emotional pain, the financial burden, the relational distress, the time consumption, and the luck of integrity Ali so you can stop feeling. Reject and have your way. Under 2 conditions. We tell your father and I don't want to involve as she has much too much going on in her affair. I want to feel your father in because I believe you trust his judgment, and I would want to tell so that I have someone I can lean on. You have to be hospitalized again. 2. If you have to be hospitalized, I don't want it to be my decision. I would want it to be your dad's. And you can promise me that you will not hold it against me. However, if after this email you are willing to stay the course, then I am willing to pray with you more than we do, help you find snacks that could alter your mood for the better and prevent weight gain, and believe that God will help your discouragement. Your Cal. I love you no matter what. But regardless of what you choose, I no longer want this as a discussion in our house. Either stay the course or count off the meds. And is unhealthy and scary for me to be put in a position to constantly worry whether or not you're going to have to leave our house and family and go stay in a mental facility again. I love you, JP.